Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader. I have a message for Virgo today. I have asked my guides and spirit to come through with a message through the cards, via the cards, that will be deeply meaningful and helpful for you this week as you navigate the challenges and just the path in front of you this week. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I really encourage you to do so. It keeps us in contact every week, and you get the spiritual and high vibrational wisdom and advice from spirit that can really just keep you moving forward consistently. It's important to get that every week so you keep moving forward. So, and if you feel compelled at all to comment or like, that's always welcome and appreciated. You guys are awesome, and I love hearing from you. So let's go to your reading. This is a little bit of a tricky subject. I'm going to try to be gentle because I feel like I'm seeing something you don't want me to see. Okay. So the energy around you is the Six of Swords. This is the healing, the reconciling energy, but it's also grief and being unwilling to kind of move forward. The thing is though that you're pulling yourself forward, so things are moving for you towards the healing process, but there's a reluctance with it. It's a slower moving healing because you haven't fully embraced the idea of healing. And I think a lot of that is because of the Six of Wands card, double sixes. Wow, you've got doubles, two doubles in your reading. This is exciting. So the Six of Wands is I'm doing much better than I look, right? So it looks like achievement. It looks like you've got everything held together. On the outside, everything looks perfect. Everything looks put together. But on the inside, there's a lot of grief and healing that is not being shown to other people. It reminds me like when you go to a funeral and sometimes the widows or the widower are a mess. You know, there's histrionic crying and it's just kind of messy. But other times they're very put together and just very stoic and very controlled in the way that they are. And that's the kind of feeling I'm getting, except all this grief is for yourself. It's not for someone else. It's grief for yourself, but you look like you're holding things together better than you actually are. And why would you be doing that? Let's look at this. Here's our double. So Two of Pentacles, which is the idea of a double, and the Five of Cups on the inside and the Five of Swords on the outside. So this is so fascinating from a reading point of view because you've got two sixes, two fives, and in the middle you've got a two, which is already a double. So we're talking about two-faced, showing two faces to the world. You have your private face, you have your public face, and it's not the same. We could also think of this concept as wearing a mask. So you have your true self that may be breaking down and falling apart inside, but on the mask, when you're wearing a mask, you look put together, you look fine, you look okay. So inside, there's an unwillingness to go to sadness. There's an unwillingness to go and address the loss that you're really feeling. You know that's something you need to do, and you keep pushing away from it. It's like you want to go there, but you can't. You want to go there, but you can't. And you're just not wanting to get into that sadness, into that heaviness. You don't want to stay in it. Why wouldn't they want to stay in it? Can you give me some more information, please? You don't want to stay in it because you're worried about what else is lurking. I've never seen this detail on this card. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There's tiny little sea nymphs at the bottom of this card, like a bunch of them. I've never seen them before. And that's representing the other sadnesses that you haven't dealt with either. And you're worried that all of that is going to come up and overwhelm you and you're not going to be able to get out. And these cards are trying to reassure you that that's not going to happen. But this leading a double life is it's going to have a toll on you. At some point, that perfect facade is going to crack in a place that you're not expecting it to, in a way you're not expecting it to. This could be snapping at someone out of the blue or having a nervous breakdown because of something tiny. And being reminded of this Frasier episode. I don't know if you watch Frasier, but this Frasier episode where they run out of straws in the cafe and Niles is under stress because of something with his ex-wife. And he just loses it. He has a breakdown. He takes all his clothes off and he's sitting naked in the cafe and he's, like in the loony bin. And of course, David Hyde Pierce being the amazing comedian that he is, it's a hilarious episode. But it cracks. It took something little, like the restaurant being out of straws, for him to just completely have a mental breakdown. And that's what we're talking about here. If you don't allow yourself to process this, if you don't allow yourself to go to these places and heal, acknowledge they're there, this facade can't keep up for anymore. It really is going to crack. So let me see if there's anything. They're wanting you to talk more. You're not talking about these emotions. You're afraid to speak. You're afraid to talk to others. So find someone that you trust to talk to, that you can just vent, that someone that's not going to judge you, someone that's just going to allow you to be. And this is going to be hard because usually you're this person for other people. But there's someone in your environment, there's someone in your surroundings that can help you. If you can't, seek out I don't want to say a mental health professional because I think readers are so much better, but seek out a reader that you trust. Seek out someone, some kind of energy that you trust. And it's the verbalization aspect is really important. Writing might also be important, but I just feel that speaking is better because we're talking about words in the air. And this is going to put everything back into balance for you. The other aspect of the two that we haven't talked about, there's friggin' twos everywhere. There's 2 geese on this card, or 2 black swans. And the lovely thing about the 5 of Cups is, yes, it talks about loss, but it also, there's 2 cups, that stay upright. So this is like, yes, there's things that are there for you to look forward to. Your life is going to come together much easier than it has been when you address these, because you're going to get your flow back. It's like this 2 is waiting for you to embrace both sides. So you've got the side that's competent, but you've got the side that's upset. You've got the side that's distraught and grieving, and it doesn't feel whole. And this is trying to make everyone think that you're whole, but it's wanting you to actually be whole by addressing that so that it can move on and heal. So if you've got questions about that, and they're saying something else. Hang on a minute. Just keep putting stuff through. Grieving is not a sign of weakness. Grieving is a sign of process. It's a natural and essential process to becoming whole. And this may not be like a loss, like a death of a loved one, but this may be grieving part of yourself that you've given away over and over and over and over and over. And grieving isn't weakness. Crying isn't weakness. None of that is weakness. It's actually weaker to not address it because it's brittle. That mask is brittle. You can break a mask in half. But allowing yourself to grieve is allowing yourself to go on that journey of becoming strong. So it's actually part of strength building. It's like when you're doing ab work and then you start shaking and you think, oh my God, I'm so weak. No, it's your muscles being like, oh, this is what you want us to do. Okay, we'll get stronger. It's a wake up to them. So I hope that gives you the invitation to go where you need to go, because this really needs to be taken care of this week. Okay, now I get to close. If you've got questions, please reach out in the comments below. And I invite you to check out my website, True Guidance Tarot. I do offer readings as well as growth programs for those willing to and wanting to self-actualize and live their most successful, powerful life. So there's stuff in the description below, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good one.